What's good, y'all? It's Pod.cannion. I'm back with another reaction video. Today, we have Xevi. This is the president of France's insane lawsuit. And yeah, I don't know too much about this. I saw it's about to be crazy. We gonna see just how crazy this gets. If y'all like the video, like it. Subscribe if you're new, because all we do is chill over here. With that being said, let's get into the video.
If you don't know who Candace Owens is, she's a very controversial political commentator. Now, her problem is that she's being sued by the president of France, Emmanuel Macron. Why, you ask? Well, you're not paying attention. I say she's controversial. She just pops up one day saying the president of France, his wife's a man. She makes a full-on docu-series about the French president's wife being a man. The French president's wife is named Bridget, by the way. She makes a full-on docu-series. She keeps talking about Bridget on podcasts. Everywhere she can get a platform, she says, Bridget is a man. The French president finally had enough, and he said, you know what, Candace, I'm suing you. What was Candace's response? Candace said, bring it on, then. Now, this story is actually a little bit deeper than it seems. Actually, a lot of bit deeper than it seems. First things first, the president of France suing Candace Owens shows that he didn't know Candace Owens at all. You see, his plan was to sue Candace Owens because usually when you sue somebody, it's like a threat.
Yeah.
They usually back off. They say, oh man, I'm getting sued. Let me just chill. Candace Owens took it as a challenge. Now, for those of you that have no idea who Candace Owens is, I want you to think Kanye West for a second. Literally, Kanye West level of controversy. Here's Candace Owens wearing a White Lives Matter shirt. Candace Owens said, you know what, I wore this shirt because I think Black Lives Matter is pretty racist. We got to show that white people matter too. That's Candace Owens level. Candace Owens BFFs with Kanye. Yeah, she on that level. So just imagine somebody threatening Kanye with a lawsuit. You think Kanye's just going to be like, oh, okay, cool. No, Kanye's going to wild out, right? Candace Owens. In fact, Candace Owens literally comes out on her podcast. She says,
much better example than I thought it was. I'm not gonna lie, but when you put that together, like, yeah, it's Candace Owens or Candace.
Found out I'm being sued by the president of France.
I don't care.
So that just means I'm on to something. We finna keep it going. There, Bridget, or should I say Jean? Candace claims that the French president's wife, Bridget, her actual name is Jean-Michel. Then Candace decides to double down with
It's like, if anything, she just looks a little elderly. She don't look masculine.
And fire. She says, Bridget / Jean, you were born a man and you will die a man. What? She then goes on to say, look, all you gotta do is let some of my doctors come over there, take some of your blood, and then we call it a day. You prove you're a woman, all good. Matter of fact, I'm glad you sued me because, listen closely, when you sue somebody, you have to bring proof. Basically, the reason why you're suing them is facts, okay? Let me explain a little further. Candace Owens is getting sued, so she doesn't have to do anything. The president of France has to prove that what Candace Owens is saying is ridiculous, unreasonable, and false. Candace Owens is saying yes, because now you have to prove that your wife was born a woman. Make me look crazy. But that's kind of a gamble, though, isn't it? Because
this is actually kind of crazy. Was born a woman. I don't know who's telling the truth here. Like, obviously, like, with the pictures that he's shown so far, she doesn't look like she's transgender at all. Like, she looks just like a more elderly woman. I don't know how, like, I don't see a lot of masculine, you know? So, I don't get it. I don't know. I don't know, man.
Candace Owens is going to owe them some cash. And on top of that, her career is going to be absolutely ruined. Candace Owens knows this too. She says, I'm staking my entire reputation on this. So when I said Candace Owens is controversial earlier, that was an understatement, is it not? Candace Owens is putting it all on the line.
Literally.
For this. To say the president of France's wife was born a man. Reputation. Thousands of dollars.
Like.
For this.
Yo, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, are you, like, is this really worth it? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it.
Another reason the president of France figured that suing her would make her stop, because he's probably thinking, she's not going to ruin her whole reputation over this. Yeah, he didn't know Candace Owens. It just made her decide to go harder. The president of France says, oh, she tripping. Because you see, here's the big problem for the president of France. You see, Candace Owens is not the first person to bring up this theory that the president of France's wife was born a man. In fact, there's a book about it. The president of France has even sued people in the past about this. He won the lawsuit, but it's a little more complicated than that. The people being sued didn't have to pay at the end. Now, the fact that the president of France sued Candace Owens just made the story bigger. So people start looking a little more into what all is going on. And there's another fact about the president of France marriage that has come to light. The fact that, listen closely, the president of France and his wife met in high school. How sweet, right? Except for the fact that there is a 20-year age gap. In fact, let me get more specific.
Wait the fuck a minute. So, because I said she looked elderly. Are you telling me he's married to his teacher? Let me hear.
Emmanuel, the French president, was a student. Bridget,
I was
a
right.
teacher. She was 39, so that means he was.
Okay. Yeah. So she's just an elderly lady. That's still weird. That's still very weird. Don't get me. Ugh. Yeah, I was like, she clearly looks a lot older than him. And now we know why. Wow. Yep. So now that's put to light, but she's not
Just give me a second.
she's not transgender.
Okay. In fact, Bridget's daughter was a classmate of Emmanuel. In fact, that's how they met. Bridget was teaching a theater class with her daughter in it. Emmanuel was there. They spark up a relationship. Emmanuel's parents find out. They say, absolutely not. They say, Emmanuel, we're sending you to Paris. You're finishing your school there so we can get you away from this person. Emmanuel said, but Daddy, I love her. They said, Emmanuel, pack your bags. He packs his bags, heads over to Paris. He does school there. Right after he finishes school,
goes back.
He reconnects with Bridget. Oh, fun fact. Bridget was married at this time with kids, all that. A few years go by, Bridget divorces her husband. Her and Emmanuel get together. A few more years go by. Emmanuel turns out to be the president of France. Now, this technically wasn't illegal because of consent laws in France, but just because it wasn't illegal does not mean it wasn't wrong. Emmanuel's parents, perfect example, they don't care about the law. They said this is totally, totally wrong. So more and more people start finding this out. This isn't a good look. All this is just a bad look for the president of France. So he says, I need to call in a favor. He hits up his boy, Donald Trump. Now, why he hits up Donald Trump is because Donald Trump and the president of France are tight. Why? Because the president of France does pretty much anything Donald Trump says. Donald Trump says jump, the president of France does 3 backflips, right? So he hits up, you know Donald Trump loved that. So he hits up Donald. Donald Trump said, my boy, jump.
Jump.
You pretty much take it all. Fridges and dishwashers,
literally,
drawers, couches,
ever since,
President of France does
once again, y'all gotta do your history.
He says, Don,
French has
I do
been our
everything
bitch
you
for
say,
a
so
while.
can I ask you a favor?
France has been our bitch.
Fine. President of France says, okay. And you say, so can I ask you a favor? Donald says, fine. President of France says, okay, I'm coming through. I need to tell you this in person. So President of France flies over to the States. He says, hey, you know who this Candace Owens person is? Donald Trump says, okay, I think I heard of her. The president of France gives him the rundown. Donald Trump calls Candace Owens. He says, yo, President of France just gave me the rundown. You know, that's my boy. I'm going to need you to chill out a little bit. Now, this is according to Candace Owens. She's saying this part on the podcast. She says, Donald was really nice. He asked her, hey, please, chill out. She says, I'll chill out for a little bit as a favor to you, because she's very right-wing, super Republican up. So she said, you know what, I'll do that as a favor to you. Donald says, I'm going to need more than that, though. Donald don't take no for an answer. And that's why I think Candace Owens is not capping about this phone call, because it sounded very Donald Trumpy. He's like, you know what? I don't need a favor. I just need you to do it. Do what I say. Trump says, matter of fact, I saw the French president's wife up close. She looked like a woman to me. Candace says, so? From some angles, the young Jesse Jackson kind of looked like Will Smith. Looks can be deceiving. Donald Trump said, what? Okay, Candace, I'm hanging up now.
Yeah.
Somebody give me a picture of a young Jesse Jackson. She says the conversation ends with her basically saying, look, I'll tone it down, but I'm still going to do me. And she's still doing her. And at the end of the day, it's kind of interesting because The stakes are really high for this. So there is going to be a lawsuit, or there should be a lawsuit, since Candace isn't backing down one way or the other. This is going to hurt somebody. Either Candace is going to lose her entire career, a bunch of money, or the president of France, it's going to be revealed that his wife was born a man, which I will say shouldn't matter. But I believe the president of France, his base is very conservative. French people in the comments, y'all can correct me on that, but I believe his...
Okay, if she has children, it should already be like, you should use your context clues to determine that she wasn't really born a man. Like, I don't know where technology is right now. Like, I feel like you could do that technically, but I don't know, dog. I just feel like that's the, you know? So it's like, for Candace Owens to really be willing to go all in doesn't really surprise me like this. Like, once I figured out it was Candace Owens behind this, I was like, oh, okay, I see. But yeah, like, the weirdest thing about it is the teacher marrying her student while she's already married herself with children. That's the weird part to me. Yeah, that you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that is an insane lawsuit from the president of France. We will see how it goes. Hey, if we lose a Candace Owens in the mix of this French lawsuit, I take that as a W. We should have been got Candace Owens out of here. I'm not gonna lie to you. But yeah, that's the reaction. If y'all like the video, like it. Subscribe if you're new, because all we do is chill over here. And with that being said, y'all be great. Y'all be safe. Keep on. Get into that bag. And I'm gonna catch y'all in the next video. Peace.